This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the One Other Thing, Season 2, Episode 11.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing. I'm working with no strings attached, folks. No notebook this time. Yep. Kevin just wanted to wing it today, basically. Yep. And I got to admit, I feel naked. But, if you've been a listener, welcome back to the show. Welcome. Love having you. Thank you for all the support. If this is your first time, well, buckle up. You're in for a ride, It's been a while. Whole little COVID scare. That's a good time. I hope you're all having a great time with this pandemic. I know we are. All the joys and the features, such as not leaving your home for extended periods, which actually, I'll be honest, even I'm getting stir crazy at this point, which that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody. But don't get me wrong. I walk into the living room, I'm fine. Generally, again, it doesn't take much. But we had a little COVID scare in our lives. So Kevin and I were not able to physically see each other. So we weren't able to enter our studios, i.e. my dining room still.
Dining room,
yeah. It's a great studio. But we are going to, I'm going to call this the belated Halloween episode. It's possible it'll be up before Halloween.
Well, I'm actually going to be in between jobs soon, which means I'm not really working that hard.
Yeah. So you're going to try and take advantage of that, and
yeah.
we may have this land before Halloween, but I'm going to call it the belated one anyway.
Yeah.
Because people live lives; they may not be able to listen.
They may not actually listen on Halloween. But
I don't know how many people are dropping what they're doing to say, "Hold up, wait, a new Toot cast is out."
Yes.
Stop everything.
Stop what you're doing. Let's listen to this.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're getting there. So
yeah.
We appreciate all the support once again. It's been quite the ride, and Kevin and I have, not to jump the gun, but we've already begun planning for season 3, and that's, I think, going to work out a lot better, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We continue to find our stride. We continue to grow. As rough as we may be, boy, go back and listen.
Yeah.
I have, and it's like, wow, we've come a long way. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kevin's still just saying yeah. But, we're getting there. Baby steps.
Yep, baby steps.
But, again, for those of you that have been along for the ride, couldn't have been more fun, and we're still having a great time. Just, it's hard to keep a consistent schedule. It's hard to speak. Words are tough.
It's been a while.
Out of practice, rusty. But, we've been trying our best, and it's just, again, life gets in the way. Hell with pandemic. Life gets in the way of things. Yeah. And so we apologize for any delays. I know it's been sporadic schedule for season 2 here, but, we're doing our best. That's all I can say.
Agreed. Trying our best.
Yeah. Can't do more than that. So I know you have a laundry list of horror movies you've been watching because, Kevin, what do you call it? Spooktober?
Spooktober, yeah. I do watch a lot of movies, and I'm trying to find the movies that Charlize asked me to watch that were horrible.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I do have to talk about them.
But, so we'll get into that. But before we get into the, I'll save what are you watching for last because I know you've got a laundry list
I
there.
do have a list, I try to watch something new every night.
Exactly. So we're gonna have some horror recommendations here for you. I have not watched a horror movie in ages, mostly because I'll talk about it when we get to that point, but generally I find they suck.
Yeah. And they do, but I still like them. I like sucky horror movies. Yeah. I enjoy them. I have to admit, I did. I try to watch nothing but new things this month, but there's still a couple of standards I have to watch every October. Well, I'll talk about those.
Before we get into any of that, let's jump into some of the others. I honestly, what have you been listening to? Section, do you got anything new to share? Because all I can say, folks, is I'm all over the place. I'm everywhere these days.
I think I've been really on a Pixie kick right now.
Good for you, man.
And Beck.
Okay, good for you.
And they're just Pixies and Beck, and I just like, God, they're different, yet there's some same elements. It's interesting. It's
the Pixie song "Hey." There's some Pixie songs
so many
that are good,
yeah.
but "Hey" specifically, it just blows my mind.
I'm getting deep cuts of Pixies.
It
I think
makes me happy every time I hear it.
Yeah, their songs sometimes it's like, are they even singing?
That's great. Yeah,
it's like, and I still like it.
I'm all over though. Again, I will literally be listening to, I'll throw in some angry music. I like kind of metal basically, and then older metal. I would say, like back when Metallica was alive and things like that. Certainly Maiden for sure, but then I will jump into classical, and then I'll be listening to jazz. I am all over the place lately.
Yeah.
I haven't really been listening to Suicide Radio lately. Don't know what that means. But I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Already had on Christmas carols.
Oh, boy. Not till Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, I know. I started early. Honestly, my Christmas carols sound like church. I'm not kidding, man. It sounds like you just entered a church. But I listen to them throughout the year periodically just because they're so freaking soothing to me. It's like, oh.
I was watching this, speaking of music, I was watching this episode of Mojo or whatever that YouTube channel is.
Mojo, I'm not familiar. What is Mojo for those like me that don't know?
It's lists. It's a list show.
Oh, okay.
And they had an episode of musicians and singers and songwriters that were never famous in their lifetime.
Okay.
It was until after their death. Otis Redding, one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, that was sad.
Oh, it's a bummer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Dude's amazing.
I know. It's like, and they said because of him, he created the category of soul.
Yeah.
If you start listening to his other music, it was like, wow, it's good. So I need to start some deep dives into his other music besides, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, which is a great song.
I was going to say, not really, though, because
there's some other good songs.
No, he does a lot of good stuff. These arms, they just, not for nothing, hard to handle.
Yeah.
That's a great trivia question, too, by the way, because everyone thinks Black Crowes was hard to handle. And no, that's Otis all day long. But yeah, it's he's fantastic. And you read that he produced such amazing stuff and then just wasn't appreciated in his lifetime. It's just such a bummer.
I know. There's actually a bunch of musicians like that, including one of my favorites, Bach.
Nice.
Never sold it. He died poor. No one ever listened to his music, or he was actually panned during his lifetime. Said, "Yeah, your music's crap."
I don't think it really applies to Bach, but I think of the Crosby, Stills, Nash line. That is, if you want to sing the blues, you got to live them too.
Oh, yeah. I think there's some validity to that.
I think it adds to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before, but I am pro musicians and drugs. Exhibit A, Beach Boys, Pet Sounds.
Yeah, they were doped up on that one.
Exactly my point, and it was fantastic. It was the best piece of work they ever did.
Yes. Yeah. The Beatles say they, the
Beatles
loved it. They're like, oh yeah, this is it.
Hell of an argument.
Yeah.
I do not like me early shiny happy Beatles. Yeah, it's okay, but I will take. I always think of the Red and the Blue albums. The ones where they're leaning over the
banister.
Yeah, and they're all clean cut in the red one, and then blue one shows up, and it's like Shaggy and the Gang.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, I will.
The good years.
I will take the Blue album all day, every day.
They are, but you need it the first half because they started the whole thing, and was genius. But then the second half is when they took the drugs and became even more genius.
Yeah, I got to say, actually, if you're a listener and if you're, younger, if you're under 18, I've got to ask the same thing I always ask, which is, where are your parents? Seriously.
Where are your parents?
But, if you're younger than, I'll say 46, and you don't know why the Beatles are the Beatles, like why people talk about them with such reverence, I think you will. Because they are, are they the greatest band that ever was? Probably, to be honest with you. But
I think
they probably are. But they're certainly one of the contenders if they're not. The Beatles were just, and I wasn't even alive at that time for Beatlemania.
Yeah, I know.
But it's their music is just, it really is that good. So give it time. And I say that because of firsthand knowledge, man. Growing up, I'll be honest, Sinatra, I was like, I just don't get it.
But he did it his way.
Seriously, I'll listen to the old crooner, Old Blue Eyes all day long now. It's fantastic and it's genius. And frankly, I just don't think I was smart enough to understand.
Yeah.
It took time.
I think a lot of music comes with age.
Yeah.
You can feel the songs as you get older.
Yeah, exactly. So Sinatra was mine, but I got to say, if you don't understand that the Beatles are like, holy crap, they're the Beatles.
Yeah.
I always think of that movie Yesterday.
I know. Well, you don't interrupt what he says.
Fucking interrupt, let it be.
Yeah, you don't. You don't interrupt or let it be. You don't.
I love that you said that scene made you think of me.
Yeah, it's like, Sean would have said that. Definitely, you don't.
I thought that went without saying. You do not interrupt, let it be.
Yeah. Like, I was losing it, too. It was awesome. I was like, okay, this movie's for me. I like it.
It's funny, too, because I now yell, play the summer song just randomly.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever go to a concert, I'll say, play the summer song, which is just completely random because that was what, like his song was before the whole Beatles thing in the movie. And spoiler alert, I guess. Yeah. But it was a cute movie. I definitely recommend that.
I've seen it twice, actually. I have rewatched it.
It was cute. I liked it.
Yeah.
But so anywho, anything else music-wise to talk about?
No, that's it. And Nina Simone. Just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, props to Nina Simone. Seriously, I'm with you.
I was getting some soul stuff, so I kind of like.
I love
getting into her.
Love me some Nina Simone, but actually, I recommend to anybody. Feeling good.
Yeah.
If you're having a shitty day, just put Feeling Good on, crank it up, and when those horns kick in, life will be better. It really will be.
Yeah, I watched. Sometimes I watch those shows, where the talent shows where they're about ready to sing "Feeling Good."
Okay.
And the judges always say the same thing. Are you sure?
That's
Are you sure you want to sing that?
You really want to do that one?
Yeah, because I'm not sure you can pull it off.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Doing anything Nina Simone stuff, though. I mean, it's just amazing talent. Amazing. I don't know if you guys can hear the telemarketer phone in the background, but
I'm not sure you can hear it.
I'd like everybody to know if you're looking to extend your car warranty.
Yes.
I know a guy.
You know a guy, yes. Calls all the time.
He really does.
I know.
He keeps telling me this is my last notice, but he lies.
He lies.
And I can press whatever button, and I get to get taken off the list. It changes nothing.
No, actually, I try to talk them as long as I can now.
I do too. I try to waste their time, and they get so mad, and they say such vulgar things, and I think to myself, and I know I'm going to hell, and I don't mean to be racist in any way, shape, or form when I say, aren't you the ones that believe in karma?
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Not for nothing. It's not my belief.
Yeah,
but it doesn't bode well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in karma, but can we pause this for a moment? I'm sorry, guys. That phone's driving me crazy.
A little while later.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Resumed.
And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. It happens.
Yeah. Were you waiting a long time?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's part of the home studio experience.
Yeah.
Emphasis on home.
Yeah. Home.
So, we were talking about, usual. But music-wise, I think we're done as far as recommendations go.
Yeah.
And before we get into your movie list, have you been watching any TV shows of note?
I finished season 2 of what's that show? Ted Lasso.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic show. I think we've talked about it before. Can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, season 2, definitely the Empire Strikes Back of the show, kind of ended on a little bummer note, but I feel because they really mean to be 3 seasons.
Did we watch the last episode? We may not have watched the last episode yet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but we knew it ended on a bummer. Actually, I got to say, I think we did watch it. Yeah, I just wish we had an episode left because it's that good, folks.
Yeah, not enough episodes. It's only like 8 episodes or 10 episodes per season, something like that.
But it's generally a feel-good show, and it's funny.
Yeah. Well written, and I watch sometimes because I watch too much YouTube, and I say these are things you missed in Ted Lasso, and all their call-outs to other shows and sitcoms from the '80s and stuff. There's little tidbits just like put in there,
little Easter eggs,
little Easter eggs everywhere in that show.
That's neat. Yeah, it's a great show though.
And then I finished the 2nd season of What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, I love that show.
I haven't started yet, but I know of what you speak.
It's absolutely silly.
We're watching a show called Startup. And we're in season 3 of it now, and because we've just been burning through it, basically. We've been watching it for a little while now. Yep. But the first season was just phenomenal. I gotta say, it was just very graphic and surprising. And season 2 was good. And season 3, you gotta wait for it to. Mick already asked me, what do you think? And I'm like, well, you got to wait because if they all turn into fucking lumberjacks, then, it nullifies everything.
It could happen.
Yeah, it's happened to me before.
Yes. Yep.
So,
looking at you, Dexter.
Exactly. Yep. So, there's no one doing that. There's no.
I'm still going to watch the show.
I probably will.
It's only a mini series of 10 episodes, and I'm like, let's see. Because he actually said, he kind of felt bad how it ended, because even though he wasn't the writer, Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would like to end better than that, please.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's why they're doing a show, because he's like, the original creator goes, well, let's try to make it right.
It should have been a spider.
Should have been a spider. I remember that. I'll never forget that look. He took a deep breath.
It was just, it was, honestly, I will watch that again. And in case you don't know, we're talking about the movie Enemy, because things in my life could only suck so much before that movie, and I found new depths.
Yeah.
And it's almost impressive.
Yeah, because he took a deep breath, and so did you. You're like,
You had the same reaction I did. Anybody who's seen that, I mean, I'll try not to spoil it, but it'll end and you'll be like, what the? I literally said, what the fuck? I rewound it and I watched it several times.
Yeah, like,
and the reaction of what the fuck didn't change.
Yeah. It's like, what did I just see?
What just happened?
Yes. I need bleach for my eyes.
Yeah. So, I can't recommend it. Unless you want new depths of suckage in your life, in which case, you can't do much better.
Best movie ever. Watch it now.
Yeah, I like that too because I said this is the crappiest movie I've ever seen, and you're like, I must watch it immediately.
I love crappy movies. And, well, that was different.
Yeah, I wasn't lying, was I? But I swear, I don't think I've told you to made recommendations, and you get around to them eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
But I tell you something is the worst piece of crap I've ever seen. I swear you watched it like that night.
Definitely. I have to watch this. It's weird. There's a lot of movies where you're like, this is a crap movie. Then the ending comes, you're like, oh, that turned it around.
Yep.
This is the opposite. You actually thought it was a decent movie.
I thought it was actually going to be decent and go somewhere, and they decided to go a different route.
And I've had endings that kind of like disappointed me or just didn't wrap it all together or didn't make sense. This was like all of that.
It was just actually if you had to define disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what?
It's disappointment mixed with bewilderment.
Yeah. I've had movies that ended on just like credits, and that was better than this.
Oh, without a doubt.
They should have ended it 5 seconds sooner.
Yeah, like
just credits.
TV shows that just went to the colored bars instead of finishing the storyline because they got canceled mid-episode. I'd prefer that.
Yeah, I know. Sopranos did that, where they stopped mid-sentence.
That's great. Yep.
And that was a pretty decent show, but
I liked it, but Mikkels hated that ending. I wasn't terribly offended. It was the pansy route, though.
Yeah,
it was not the right way to end that show.
Yeah. But guess what's coming out? The prequel.
Yep. His son. Heard he did a good job, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bummer, obviously, but I mean, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So and that's all over the news too. The whole Alec Baldwin thing. I mean, that's what a tragedy. That sucks.
It's the armor. Her career's over. It should have been over before.
It sounds like not for nothing. It sounds like you could do something else with your life. You'll be all right.
Yeah. But I think she got a pass from. I've been reading a little bit on it, not a lot, but it sounded like she got a pass from our previous transgressions because she's been a bad armorer forever.
Yeah.
But her father is a well-known armorer, but she's caused a lot of problems on sets already. And people said this woman's not safe.
Yeah.
And there she is. He tells the person this is a safe gun. Hands it to Alec Baldwin, and he does his practice and kills somebody. Yep. I feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I mean, it sucks that he's a producer too. So that's the weird thing that he is not criminally responsible, but he could be civilly responsible because he's a producer. Yeah. So hopefully his insurance, because they're going to get sued. They're so getting sued.
Oh, entirely. But I mean, not for nothing too. I doubt that's top of mind too.
Yeah.
It's more I just fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if I can live with that. That's tough.
That one, I do hope I can make it this go around without killing anybody. That is kind of on my list of to-dos or not to-dos, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Not kill anyone. Every day I just think that.
Try to get through this life without actually killing anybody. Yes.
Yeah. That would be nice.
You don't have to make a conscious effort on that one. Maybe it's just me.
Me? Every day. I look in the mirror. Don't kill anyone today.
Try not to kill anyone today.
Center. I'm good.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
But, that's just you.
But this is,
it's a lot of effort.
He didn't kill anybody.
No.
An accident happened, and yes, it's one of those things. If he'd been holding an umbrella and somebody had tripped and it, stabbed him in the heart, it was faulty equipment and an accident occurred. Shit happens. That's not I killed somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or one of those rays that jump out of the water and stabbing the heart.
Not for nothing. He's probably fucking with that thing.
Yeah,
I mean, just calling it like I see it, folks.
You're poking it and you know it.
Did you ever watch that show? Seriously, though.
Yeah,
it was bizarre because he'd be like, there's an exotic animal. I'm going to go fuck with it.
Yeah, basically. I'm going to wrestle that gator now.
Like, what?
Look, if you put your finger up its butt. No.
The man was insane, though. Yeah.
It will calm down.
It's like, I don't know what I'm watching. It's like part documentary, part wrestling.
Yeah, I know. It was weird. weird. I loved it because I'm like, this made no sense.
Yeah, that's bizarre, but whatever. Boy, we digress.
Yeah.
So, well, before we get into your list, because
Yeah.
I know we're trying to keep this one shorter, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Dune.
Dune. Well, okay. One, I'll preface with I loved it, but when I asked you about it, the first thing coming in your mouth, it goes, "Well, I watched the 2.5-hour trailer. Now I'd love to watch the movie now."
That's exactly my reaction. It was a great trailer, but
I'm okay with it being a trailer, though, personally.
if somebody hadn't read the book, okay, yeah, I loved it. I'll be honest. If they, I think I
If they
loved
land
it.
the plane
They got it
in the part 2,
Yeah,
they need to land this plane.
They did a couple subtle things though that I really appreciated. The scene where, spoiler alert, I'm gonna fuck up Dune for you.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you don't know the story
Read
of
the
Dune
book.
anyway, you got to read the book just to have a clue what the hell that movie's
Well,
about.
I have a theory of why he was okay with not like spoon feeding everything to you.
Which is,
It is the best-selling science fiction book of all time.
you should know this story.
People, for the most part, know the story.
Gotcha. Yep.
So that's my opinion why he kind of like didn't spoon feed everything to you.
I'll say it this way: if you don't know the story Dune and you watch that movie and you walk away with what the fuck just happened, I entirely get it. Like they didn't explain anything.
No, they didn't even use the word mentat once in that movie.
I was going to bring that one up. Although
sorry.
it was good casting.
It was. I liked the. Oh, yeah.
The eyes, I know, I did too.
That was
Yep,
like, oh, he's computing right now.
But he didn't
That's
talk
awesome.
about a mentat being a human computer, and there was no blood of Sappho's.
Yeah,
I mean, and
that was awesome scene. Yeah.
the other line I missed, and I think of it often
Yeah.
because it's probably up there with the try not to kill anybody.
Yeah.
1,000 deaths for you, Dr. Huey. I think of that line.
It's awesome. So this
No, it's 1,000 deaths are not enough for you, Dr. Huey. That's what it was, and I think of it often.
My recommendation for this movie is wait the 2 years before the second part comes out.
Yeah.
Watch it, enjoy it.
2 years,
Then go
Jesus.
back. I don't know. They didn't say how many years. Maybe it's
okay.
a year. Well, I'm knock on wood. If it's
Yeah,
a year, it'd be
I have
great.
no idea, but seriously.
Then afterwards, if you haven't seen the original, watch the original after all this, and it'll fill in all the blanks because they spoon feed everything to you in
Everything, yeah.
1984. Everything.
Yep. They didn't. I didn't think they did a great job of explaining the Bene Gesserit witches at all.
No.
Although they did get a little bit into the old mythos where they talked about the fact that, and I always found this amazing in the books, the fact that he thought generations ahead.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how the story goes. Is that whole, Paul Atreides goes to Dune there, and they're all like, "Oh, it's the Messiah."
Yeah.
The Bene Gesserit had planted that Messiah story literally like hundreds of generations.
They did touch on
earlier,
that. I
and
didn't realize
and
that.
they touched on it. And
They didn't
it's
touch
just
on
awesome.
1984.
No.
The version they touched on this one. They're like, oh, and he's like, and he's pretty wise already. He's like, they knew. It's because they've been told to expect me.
Exactly.
You know, so so he's very dubious about the whole like God thing and Messiah thing.
But the cool thing about the Bene Gesserit isn't that they knew he was coming and that this was going to happen. That was a seed they planted.
Yeah.
In case they ever needed it.
Right.
And I mean, that was the beauty of the Bene Gesserit is they were just this political empire.
Well, they do plan on doing a TV series all about the Bene Gesserit. So I think we're going to get, this movie. Maybe they didn't dig that deep into it because they knew there was a TV series coming out all about the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I
interesting.
think on HBO they're going to have that.
They didn't talk about the spice, and they barely touched on the Travelers Guild there.
Oh yeah, the Guild. Yeah, because they're like, well, why they're going to be pissed in the second movie that the spice production stops? Spoiler. When the spice production stops, they're going to get pissed at everybody. And the Harkonnens,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to say it like that. Harkonnens.
Oh, it's a Harkonnen all day long.
It's a Harkonnen. Why? Why'd you change that?
That is a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. But I had a lot of trouble getting used to that. And I was sad I didn't see Sting.
I just don't hear it. I willed myself to still hear Harkonnen.
Yeah, I know. Because I do. It's I don't know. That's a small gripe. They can change it.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. They didn't tell you how important the spice was, to the universe. They kind of hinted and said they used it for space travel. That was it.
Yeah, I can kind of sum it up because I mean, I could geek out and flex my muscles and talk about I can't remember the term, the Rosenstein Bridge, but basically folding space.
Yeah, folding space. Wormholes.
Wormholes, yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's effectively gasoline for the universe.
Yeah.
No gas, you can't get anywhere.
Yep.
That's basically the
All
punchline.
trade stops.
Yep.
It's like, oh, dude, it's a big deal.
And that's why Dune is a shithole, basically, because it needs to be a desert planet in order for the worms to be there to make the spice and the whole cycle there.
Well, I assume in the second movie they'd have to at least dig into that when the shit hits the fan. someone's gonna get pissed.
Yeah,
And they might show the
without a doubt.
emperor. They didn't show the emperor.
Didn't show the emperor at all.
Yeah, no
you know?
emperor.
On a good note, we didn't get his daughter narrating. But
That's true. That's what I said. They spoon fed a lot.
They did.
She was pretty though.
yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
And you needed her because people would be like,
What the hell?
what the hell did I just see? There was I'll come right out. Okay, is Zendaya a pretty girl? I suppose. I don't know. I got like the
Zendaya, she's too young.
I got the opposite of pedophilia. So whatever the opposite of that is, I've got that. So yeah, she's way too young, but I suppose she's pretty enough.
But if this came out in 1984, during the age you were then, it'd be one thing.
It'd be one thing, but there's no question in my mind about this point. Sean Young would beat her ass.
Yeah.
When Sean Young says, "I would not have allowed you to harm my people,"
You believed her.
I was like, no shit, she would not have. And Zendaya's like, I'm like, yeah, not for nothing, honey. I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's kind of badass.
So yeah, she did a fine job. I thought it was good, but no question, Sean Young would kick her ass. And I mean, even with your whole teleporting through time thing, and they're both the same age, yeah, Sean Young was beating her ass every time.
Yeah. But I thought he did a better job than I thought, because
I thought he did.
His Paul is having more of a story arc. Like in the 1984 version, Paul Atreides was already a badass, understood the whole political climate, and by the time he got there, he was just awakened.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. Here, he was like kind of like a kid, and then getting
he's
older,
coming to age, as
then,
he's supposed to.
Yeah, and then he made his first kill. Then he's like he didn't want to so much. He didn't want to kill. So I'm like I like that. Even though I wish it ended with something cool. It was an okay ending.
No,
I wish it was cooler ending though.
It was again. It's just like that was a great trailer.
Yeah, it was a great trailer. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie now.
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't F anything up though, and I have to say a few of the other touches I really, really appreciated.
Yeah.
The chanter at the Sardaukar there was stellar.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so creepy and so weird and dark and evil, and it was just. And Sardaukar are no joke. Like they're just pure evil.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
And I really thought that was well done. And yeah, I look forward to it, and I think I'm going to actually read the series again, because I really did enjoy them. And I'm telling you, if you haven't read Dune, it is. Game of Thrones is like the same kind of storyline light, to give you an idea.
Yeah.
There's just so much to it, but it is such a great story.
Duncan, Idaho got a better death in this.
Yeah,
than
I thought.
in the first.
Agreed.
84
The slow
movie.
bullet there going
Slow
through
bullet killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a better death. And the fighting, I prefer the fighting in this movie a lot, and I prefer the shields. I liked because you know what David Lynch said. He said he did all the other stuff in the movie with all the Lego-looking shields and all this stuff, and shooting the laser guns or the sound guns.
Yeah.
Because he goes, I don't want to have kung fu on the desert. So that's why he took it out. He purposely took it out. He doesn't believe in kung fu in a movie. He didn't want that.
I want kung fu in every movie.
I know. Kung fu in the desert sounded fun.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
And it was awesome. I really did enjoy it. I want to see more kung fu in the desert.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to part 2.
That's absolutely.
There should be a lot more kung fu in the desert.
So yeah, they're off to a good start. And it is impressive. They haven't effed anything up, but likewise, they barely scratched the surface.
I know. After watching this, I'm like, God, I wish this was a series on TV. And really examine it.
The part I applaud the most, though, is, and I think it was just a nod to the readers of the book too, when they first get to the siege and they look out on the valley and they see the worm rider, they see the dude on the worm.
Yeah.
That was in the book. That's what happens. They see somebody off in the distance riding the worm, and it just blows your effing mind at the time. Like this, they're relatively new to this planet. The fact that they're just still grappling with the fact that worms exist, and they're so effing big, and to see something like that, and I thought they did a great job of capturing that. So again, give this movie some props.
There's one scene in there that gave me chills. One scene. There's a lot of scenes that was close to give me chills, but one that really gave me chills because I knew what she was going to say when she said it. The Master of the Change, which was a female character in this movie, and it was Max Heindel in the original. She was.
Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah, when she was and she was about ready to get killed by the Sudaka, and she said, "What'd she say? I only follow one master because you betrayed us." And she said, "Worm's name. What's his name?"
Yeah, Shai Halud.
When she said, I was like, she's gonna say Shai-Hulud. I know it. She's like Shai-Hulud. I'm like, yes. And then the word, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite scene in the movie.
Okay.
When she just said Shai-Hulud, and just hear that again after all these years in a movie, I was like, yeah.
I love that actor though. The Kynes from '84.
Yeah.
He was great, wasn't he? He really was good.
He was.
And of course the housekeeper from '84.
Yeah,
That
I called
one
the
was-
kindergarten cop.
Yeah,
Her
right.
Principal.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's just although I don't think
Shadow
I've
Mapes.
I've never actually seen that movie. But
Oh yeah, she's definitely the principal in kindergarten cop.
that's great. Yeah, she was in a million things.
I
but
know.
yeah, she's great. But yeah, so
Shadow
it's-
Mapes. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, there is a reason Dune is number one.
Yeah, it's one of the best science fiction, or most popular science fiction ever written.
The guy was amazing. And when you think about he's kind of like Asimov too. You think about the year that he wrote this, and
Yeah, in
your
the
mind's
60s
even
something,
more
right?
blown. You're like, holy
Yeah.
crap.
I know, and you could the more you watch this, and the more elements they've taken out of the book that wasn't in the 1984 movie, you're like George Lucas did take a lot for this in the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, everybody's stolen from Dune.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
I mean, the voices telling people what to do. Well, that's in Star Wars.
Yeah.
They talk about the spice mines in Star Wars, and it was actually an homage to Dune.
Dune.
He
Nice.
knew, he purposely took some elements from this story. So, I don't know.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
I think it's neat. So yeah, so I really, really enjoyed it. And visually, man, I wish I saw on a big screen, IMAX screen, because I think those desert scenes would be beautiful on a big screen.
I got you. I don't care about the IMAX kind of experience, but then again, that involves people, and
Yeah, I
right
know.
now, sorry, you're all diseased. I don't know how else to say it.
We decided to celebrate this movie, each our own individual homes.
Yes, that's the best way.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
So
It's just not worth it. But anyway,
yeah,
so Halloween special.
Halloween special. Yes.
We should have gotten scary sounds available. We could have done that. Yeah, exactly.
Here comes Halloween.
Yes. we're getting closer. We're not quite there.
Yeah, I know.
That's good though. I like that. So what do you got? I mean, horror movies. I can't even speak to horror movies. Although I did see. This was great. Apparently in New York City they had a dog costume competition of some kind, and I don't even know if this dog won anything, but it was the cutest thing I ever seen. It was this little puppy in a Hellraiser costume. It was Pinhead, but he had a little puppy face, and it was just fantastic.
That's awesome. I like that.
So it was really cute. But yeah, I don't know what horror movies I'd actually recommend. I mean, I personally think the best horror movie ever will always be The Exorcist.
I just watched a special on Exorcist, and the director is out of his gourd. He was putting bee sounds in the background just to make you feel uncomfortable.
That's great.
Yeah, he was doing like all these like sound effects that like the whole purpose is to make you feel like nauseous.
That's great.
And I'm like, that's really trickery.
That's horror to me. It's
Yeah.
like you're terrified to turn around.
Yeah.
Like not, jump scares, yes. Like you reacting to a jump scare is just smart. If something flies at you, you should probably try to dodge it. That's my advice.
Yes. Yeah, they said the bees are supposed to get to trigger your internal fight or flight response.
Okay, nice.
So that's why you put the bee sound in it. So there's bee sounds that's constantly through the movie. It's very subtle. But if you watch it again, you can start hearing the soundtrack. It's kind of messes with you.
I take great pride in that. I'm very confident because I've been put in those moments of truth. Because at the end of the day, you never really know how you're going to react when the fit hits the shan. But I've been unfortunately through a couple of those moments, and I'm pretty confident that little demon exorcist girl appears out of nowhere and comes charging at me. I'm pretty certain you're going to see a little demon girl get punched in the face. I have very little doubt about that.
The thing is, every movie that has been, because most movies, they don't do anything. They just run. But there's a few movies out there where they punch the little devil girl, and the devil girl's shocked.
Yeah,
every time.
I think it's a great idea, personally. And don't get me wrong, Little Devil Girl's going to probably consume my soul immediately afterwards, but at least I'm going to go knowing.
Yes. Yes. Take that. I'm not going easy. I'm leaving this world the same way I kind of came in, kicking and screaming.
Pretty much. That's it. I want to go down swinging. That's my ask.
Yeah. Jesus.
But yeah, anyway. But other than that, I don't necessarily have, and it does depend how you define horror, because you and I were speaking about this earlier.
There's different levels.
Cabin in the Woods, I thought was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even consider that a horror movie.
It's not a horror. It's a satire horror. So it's a different category. It's the same way Evil Dead 2 is a satire horror. Like Airplane is satire comedy, but Evil Dead 2, Cabin in the Woods are the same genre.
I just love the ending to it.
I rewatched that. That's the classic I just rewatched this month.
Okay,
I consider that a
great
classic.
movie.
So I rewatched it, and I'm like, And I think I'm not sure I've seen it more than once. So watching it a second time and seeing them throw all the foreshadowing in the beginning, you're like, oh.
I have seen that more than once, believe it or not, and that speaks volumes because I don't watch anything more than once.
I watch a lot of things all the time.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll say it this way, like Shawshank, I've seen about 9 trillion times.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Yeah.
I'd watch it that many more.
Yeah. I would go so far, it might be your favorite Stephen King story.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's not setting the bar high.
No.
Yes, no.
I think it's one of the best Stephen King stories. Oh, his best stories
short stories
are short stories and not horrors.
Okay.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, again, depends how you define it. Yeah, you could argue Shawshank is a horror, but again, I don't.
Green Mile is not a horror and one of the best Stephen King stories.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's a great one.
But no, it's
not.
I
know why you said you didn't want to watch it.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember because the guy he dies.
Mickles was going to see it. I think she was going with her mom, and she's like, "Do you want to go see the Green Mile?" And I'm like, "I do not want to see everyone be mean to that black man." And I didn't watch it, but what happened? Everybody was mean to the black dude, weren't they?
They weren't. Well, none of the guards were.
That's not a.
None of the guards were. None of the guards were. They've actually kind of fell in love with him.
Okay.
So that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because when they had to execute him at the end of the movie, you're like, the guards are balling.
Yeah.
You're balling.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't. But the thing is, and it's been out for a long time. Spoiler, he wanted to go at that point. He's like, I just want to go. I've seen too much sadness.
And I just. Life's miserable enough. I don't need the help. That's why I kind of gave up on dramas. They're just fucking sad.
That being said, it was a well-done movie because it was still Frank Darabont who directed it, who did the first, 3 seasons of The Walking Dead. He did Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Great writer-director because he wrote all the screenplays, too. So I'm a big fan of Frank Darabont. Darabont? Yeah, Darabont, whatever you pronounce it. But anyways, he was why The Walking Dead was great in the beginning. He's why Green Mile and Shawshank was great.
Like the 9/11 memorial.
Yeah.
I've not been to it. Plenty of opportunity to go to it. But and people have asked, hey, do you want to go there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me see. Do I feel like having my heart ripped out and stomped on for a while and bawling my eyes out and being like, wow, why is everything so awful?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to pass, actually. How about we go get a burger? No, I'd rather pretty much do anything. Like, let's go play in traffic. Let's go lay on the road. No, I don't want to do that.
Well, when I saw Green Mile, I didn't know it was going to take my heart out and stomp on it.
Oh, I knew.
But it doesn't make it a bad movie. It just...
No.
Really sucky ending.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I bawled my eyes out of Forrest Gump the first time I saw it.
Oh, God. Jenny. Sorry.
Fucking idiot. Like,
yeah, I know.
Damn
idiot. God. Yeah, when he cried, when he was asking if his kid was dumb, basically.
Yeah. That fucking broke your heart, didn't it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
Jenny was a whore. God, Jenny was awful.
She was such a whore.
Awful.
She was. Oh, God.
Boy.
I know.
I saw a meme. It was terrible, but I'm going to share it on the show because what the hell? I've been so awful this one. Why stop now?
Why stop now?
But it said my first relationship was very much like Forrest and Jenny. She was a whore and I was retarded. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah, and
I laughed. Yep. Yep. Pretty much hit the nail on the head.
That's awesome.
But yeah, good stuff.
So let me talk about what a horror TV show I've been watching. I haven't finished the first. I don't know if it's one season, first season.
Black Mirror one.
Yeah, there's a TV show on Hulu. It's basically Black Mirror meets horror, and I was hesitant to watch it because it's a spin-off show. It's called American Horror Story.
Okay.
But this is called American Horror Stories.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I got sick of American Horror Story.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, it's just like, man, this stuff is lasting too long. They could just do this in 1 or 2 episodes. And it's like they listened to me. So it's an anthology. Every episode is a different circumstance.
Okay.
So they get in there, tell the story, get out real quick.
Yeah.
And some endings are really dark. It's awesome. And they even had one episode where this guy released a movie, and he was like thrown in jail and stuff like that because every time the movie was shown in public, everyone lost their minds and started killing each other.
It happens.
So he got released, and this woman said, "Don't go to this drive-in and stuff." So everyone started killing each other, and it ends like really awesome. I'm not going to spoil it, but that's just that one episode.
Yeah.
But there's another episode where a bunch of kids are being like bros and filming like YouTube stuff and doing stupid stuff, and they're all fine. And until they filmed some guy committing suicide and made a show out of it, then they lost all their followers.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, let's make a comeback. Let's go to the mall and you know, basically they went teasing Santa, and the Santa, as it turns out, wasn't really Santa. The mall
He wasn't
Santa.
the real Santa?
He wasn't the real Santa.
Oh, my God.
But he also wasn't the Santa that was supposed to work that day. He was killed by this guy who was who's that Mexican guy? I think he's Mexican, with all the tattoos and stuff.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo. So, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
anyways, Danny Trejo was in there, and yes, he kills all the Santas and takes their position. And then when he pissed
Not
off,
for nothing. If Danny Trejo wants to be Santa, he's gonna be Santa.
yeah. And then he looked at him and he just, next thing you know, they found in the news that he was a killer, and then he shows up at their house.
Yeah.
So it ends poorly for these kids.
That's awesome. Good for
I
Danny Trejo.
love it.
man.
So my point is, this show, if you like Black Mirror, it's not as good. It's like Black Mirror season 3.
I don't know if anything's
not Black
ever
Mirror
gonna,
season 1.
Yeah, I don't know if anything's ever going to be as good as season 1 and 2
Yeah.
were.
Yeah. So it's like Black Mirror season 3, but with horror.
Yeah.
So I liked it. It's watchable, and it's cool that it's like it need to be one show a piece for these shows.
There's a movie out there named Badass,
Yeah.
starring Danny Trejo.
That's awesome. I love Danny Trejo.
I saw Danny Trejo Badass. I'm like, good enough. I'm in.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Wasn't bad. I like that stuff. I think is he Mexican? I think he might be Mexican.
I
think he
would
might be.
say so.
Yeah, I think
That'd be
so.
my guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he speaks Mexican too.
That's fantastic. That joke never ever gets old to me. And the thing is though, like
I'm
people
going to
are like,
hell.
"Oh, that's racist. You're going to
It
hell."
is. Yeah, I'm going
but
to hell.
no, to me, like, no, you're not. You know who's going to hell? The people that don't know that you just made a joke.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke. Yeah, because
Nobody's speaking Mexican.
nobody speaks Mexican. Oh
yeah.
God. Anyway, so yes, I think American Horror Story would have been great if it was one episode per story, and they did it.
Yeah.
So I recommend that
Okay.
because it's definitely it definitely has some moments it's like, this is not bad. This is the way it should have been from the beginning. So I always thought the whole season was too much. You know, like it was like being dragged on too long. And I'm like, this is get in and get out.
Yep. I like that.
Tell a new
Tell your story, land your plane.
Yeah, so American Horror Stories.
You know what that's from, by the way? The land your plane. I have no idea
Land
where.
Your
I know
Plane.
where I first heard it.
Huh. Land Your Plane, I don't know.
It was from a movie called Couples Retreat, which wasn't half bad.
Yeah.
But guy's basically kind of making up with his girlfriend again, and she's talking about like all the guys she's been with since they broke up, and you know, she's telling her story, and he's like, "All right, land your plane."
Yeah.
Just I heard that, I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm incorporating that into the lexicon immediately."
Awesome.
Just, just wonderful. So yeah, so what
So
what
now
movies do
to
you
go into
have
movies.
for us?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with a movie that I watched. Well, we're watching all these like bloody horror movies in the middle of it, so it wasn't the first movie we watched this month. But I have to talk about before again the horror movies just because
Okay.
it's separate. But so the movies, so I watched 2 movies this month that it's not considered horror. It was Dune,
Yeah.
and a movie called Free Guy,
Okay. Was it good?
starring
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds playing the hell out of Ryan Reynolds.
Of course.
Oh my God, the movie was so much better than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, nice.
It was fun. It was funny, and I don't know if you know the plot of it, but the plot basically is he goes through his day. He works at a bank. Every time he walks outside, there's like cars crashing into each other, people shooting each other, planes crashing the building, just a mess. And he just does the same thing every single day. Grabs a cup of coffee, goes to work every day. People come and rob the bank. He lays on the floor. People rob the bank. And he's just talking with the security guard. And next day, rinse, repeat every single day, exact same thing. Until
Same
one
as
day,
it ever was.
somebody he takes somebody's sunglasses that other people are wearing, the people doing all the shooting. He puts it on. All of a sudden, you can see level 1, level 2, and as it turns out, he's an NPC in a video game.
Oh, that's great.
And it's awesome because he as it turns out, he's like an AI that was programmed to like learn, and all of a sudden it snapped, and people are watching him play it. And there's like they record real YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and stuff like that, or like it has scenes in this. So
okay.
This is what I think. I didn't see that movie, that Steven Spielberg movie, Ready Player One, and this seems like this is like a better version of what that could have been. This is like better than that movie. I could tell already.
I read that book. I'm trying to remember if I watched the movie.
I thought you said you watched the movie and didn't like it.
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't like it.
Did I read the book first? Probably.
Yeah, probably. You
Yeah.
didn't like the movie.
It's
So I never watched the
almost
movie yet.
exclusively the story.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. This movie is definitely worth. It's fun. It's definitely up my alley because then in the background, you just watch the background. That's half the fun. You see a guy go around and you can see somebody kill another guy and just start jamming his ass in his face over and over again.
Great.
Like, they don't make a big deal out of it,
Oh, yeah.
but you can see in the background happening. I'm like, they know gamers.
Yeah,
They know gamers.
Well, that's Naked Gun style, too,
Yeah.
because, I mean, I'm telling you, the Police Squad show, I think it was like 6 episodes, seriously. It was freaking hysterical. And they did shit like that all the time, where in the background there's just stupid shit happening. I love it.
So, yeah, if you're looking for just a good time movie, and I like the story, and it was funny. It was literally funny.
Well, Ryan Reynolds doesn't act at all, and you know what? That's okay. We love you. You're fantastic.
Yeah, really. It was hard to watch this while thinking, like, he acts just like Deadpool in this.
Yeah, exactly. No, Deadpool acts just like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, this is like... But, so, yeah, if you like Deadpool at all, you like this movie. But then it has video game elements.
For the record, he's extremely lucky I just don't call him Van Wilder. Because, I mean, let's face it.
I've never seen that movie, but I know what you speak.
Really?
National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
It's good because, you know why? It's Ryan Reynolds. He's young, but you know what? He's playing Ryan Reynolds.
He's playing Ryan Reynolds. Recommend the movie wholeheartedly, especially for anybody that is in the video game generation. It's just a fun movie, and it is cool how he becomes, like, self-aware.
Can't talk Ryan Reynolds without a shout-out to Blake Lively. My God, are those good genes.
Yeah, I know.
Just, holy crap.
Yeah.
Way to win the DNA lottery. Wow.
Son of a gun. So, yeah, definitely recommend. 75% tomato meter, so, yeah, it's a good
I'll check
movie.
it out, though. Yeah, I enjoy Ryan Reynolds. I find him amusing.
It's a fun movie, so highly recommend it. So, movies I've seen this month. The Night House. That's a movie where, what was it? Her husband dies, and then she starts seeing things at night and sees shadows that like come alive and stuff, and she doesn't know what's going on, and she ends up hiking out in the woods, and she finds her exact house someplace else in the middle of the woods that her husband was building, but everything's reversed.
Oh, that's neat.
So it was a good movie. I don't want to give it more away, but it's an interesting thriller horror take, and the ending was interesting. So yeah, it was like, the way it was genius how it would just all of a sudden you would like line up, like a column in a room. And then as the camera panned, then you can see the shadow character. Okay. And then move. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah. That was awesome. But yeah, you'd have to really look. But yeah, they did a really good job of making this house come alive.
That's funny. The shadow characters are becoming popular in my ghost videos because yes, I still watch the ghost videos, and yes, I still don't believe in ghosts. They're real. Why don't they ever do anything useful? I need a ghost that will like vacuum.
Yeah, I know.
Is that too much to ask?
Come on.
But worth a watch or no? Let's use that as a barometer.
I'll say it's worth a watch. Now, I'll mention one that's not worth a watch.
The Night House is worth a watch.
Okay, so there's a movie called Old.
Okay.
And I knew it wasn't going to be a good movie because it was directed and written by a guy named M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, yeah, I've given up.
Now, I would say this is not his worst movie.
What is his worst movie?
I
saw Right Through the Village.
The Village is pretty bad.
You know what I liked? I liked the one, even though it was lame.
Lady in the Lake was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad, too. I like the one where everybody's just killing themselves. Not kidding. I have no idea what the name of it is. It was a stupid ending, but I did like that because it was creepy as shit.
Yeah, that's when the trees were killing each other.
Yeah,
making
killing
them die.
everybody, yeah. But I like that.
But yeah, this one's old. And the plot of this one... And again, it wasn't his worst. I would say that it's down to the, like a D of his movies. It's not F, so it's not unwatchable.
Signs is the right answer.
Oh, Signs.
You telling me that aliens that are allergic to water land here? How fucking stupid are they?
It's so stupid.
But anyway.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong in the movie. He's so peaked with Sixth Sense, unfortunately. I did like Unbreakable, but he peaked with Sixth Sense.
Unbreakable was palatable. I don't say I loved it, but it was okay.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson is what made it good.
The other ones are unwatchable.
This one's somewhat watchable. So a whole bunch of people go on vacation, and they go into his island, that or his beach, like this. I guess it's an island and a beach, and to like kind of vacation. Yeah. And as they're there, they realize that they're actually aging while they're there. Okay. So they had children there that by the end of the movie they were adults. Yeah. And had a baby. And had a baby.
It happens.
It's just weird. They're like, we're just playing, they said. Oh, that was funny. We're just playing and she's pregnant. An hour later, the baby's born. But it was interesting, because they were actually, as it turns out, they were put there on purpose as a science experiment. So it was an interesting take. the twist, it's like I said, Charlize, you know the problem with this movie was? The movie's called Old. You knew what was happening from the title.
Yeah.
That they're going to get
Did they
old.
explain why they were getting old?
Yeah, they did.
Let me guess. No sunscreen.
No sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
No. Coral.
Coral?
Yeah, and magnetism. It's
That'll
it's like Lost, really.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was it a great movie? No. Is it worth watching? No. But but Charlie's wanted to watch it, and we did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we've all made bad investments when it comes to movies.
Yeah, so it's
but
a 62% tomato meter, which is actually one of his higher movies
M. Night
statistically.
Shyamalama Ding Dong, as I like to call him,
Oh,
is
God.
he's one of those that, like, he's lower than bad for me, and I'm sorry, buddy, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm saying it because you come so close to greatness, and then you just whiff every time, every fucking time. And it's just one of those things I just can't invest anymore. Like, you're going to pull the football right when I go to kick it. I've seen this one before, Lucy.
Yeah. Well, Charlize was trying to get in Dune. She goes, "Did you see Timothy Shyamalama?" I'm like, "No. That's not Shyamalama.
That's great.
That's the wrong guy.
Oh, that's even
it's
better.
M. Night Shyamalan, not Timothy Shyamalan." Wrong guy.
That's great.
So yeah, not watching. Let's see. Okay, so this is one also. I don't know if it's worth watching or not. It's a hair better than the Shyamalama one. It's called Before I Wake. Yeah, I hated the ending. Anyways, this orphan child dreams, and his dreams become real.
Okay.
So he's like dreaming and stuff, and dreams butterflies and stuff. It's all happy. He's an orphan, so this family takes him in. And as the movie progresses, you realize that everybody who's taking care of him has disappeared.
Okay.
And you start learning that his nightmares are also real, not just his dreams.
Yeah.
So there's a monster that appears that just it's almost like this weird like skeleton thing, but very rubbery. So if he wants to kill you, he just puts his hand over your face, and all of a sudden your face is covered in this clay, and you just dissolve into him.
It happens.
So he would just spend the movie just killing people.
Okay.
So it was really a lame ending, though.
All right. So we don't recommend this one. What was the name of it again?
It's called Before I Wake.
It
came out in 2016, so it's actually not a brand new movie.
All right.
So
What made you pick this one?
the wife picked it.
Oh, okay.
She picked a few of the horror movies.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so she picked that one, and it was okay. It was better than the M. Night Shyamalan one.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Give it that. So it might be worth watching. But what did somebody say? There's a review. Interesting till the end. I agree. Then the end happened.
Till the end. That's
Yes.
great. Big Spider?
Big Spider. It just wasn't good. What else did I see?
Trying to think of horror movies I'd recommend. So, like Hellraiser 1 and 2.
Hellraiser, yeah.
Entirely. I don't think I watched 3 and beyond, but 1
I think
and 2
I've seen
were
3.
good.
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I don't think I'd recommend the Nightmare on Elm Street unless you're of an age. Definitely don't recommend any Friday the 13th.
Well, maybe the first one because it didn't have Jason Voorhees in it at all.
He jumped out at the end, didn't
He did, right at the end, little child.
he? He made an appearance. He's like, I'm in the movie.
Oh, I saw The Quiet Place Part 2. Even quieter.
Less noise.
Um,
And how was
have you seen the first Quiet
I
Place?
have not, but I
the first-
stumbled upon it on something, either Hulu or Prime or
Yeah, Jim
Netflix
Halbert
or
did
Jesus,
that
who
movie.
knows.
Jim Halbert from The Office did that movie with his wife, Emily Blunt. But the first movie was great.
Okay.
It was worth
Great.
Yeah,
All right.
the first movie was great. This one is the same movie. It actually is a prequel to the first one. So it's pretty much the same movie, but then they kind of explain the aliens a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit more. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, but you already did all this in the first movie.
Okay.
So the sequel, not worth watching. First movie, definitely worth watching. It was pretty cool because they did a really good job because the one of their children was deaf, and they actually used a real deaf actress to do it.
Oh, that's groovy.
And
I dig that.
And she was actually kind of like the hero. So it was cool. I really did like, and I like the way it was like, this is what M. Night Shyamalan should have done Signs. Everything in this movie made sense. You know, it made sense. How they defeated the aliens made sense. So it wasn't like this weird, like, oh, we're going to a water planet and water kills you.
The viewing of the alien for the first time down that alley.
Yeah, walking
That,
through.
I mean, bravo, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
That was really well done, but the water bit, Jesus. Like, these non-intelligent species? Like,
Yeah, I know.
did they not happen to notice the percentage
And
of
his
this
lame
planet that's water?
foreshadowing that he did, where he's like, "Go swing away" and all that stuff. That you needed him with a baseball bat too, and just
Absolutely, it's bad.
Yeah, was not a good movie.
Yeah, no. I literally can't think of. Actually, there were movies. These are obscure, but I recall I liked them, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen them in 20 plus years. Probably more than that. Jesus, that hurts.
Oh, boy.
Anywho, Demons and Demons 2. I enjoyed those movies. And as I recall, the reason I enjoyed those movies is most of the time in horror movies, people are doing stupid shit. And in this particular movies, I believe the people did what I recommended. And they died anyway. But at least they did smart things.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. So on Netflix, I watched a trilogy of movies called Fear Street.
Okay.
And they're based on a book from an author named R.L. Stine. Never heard of him personally.
Yeah, no.
Sounded like a cool name, R.L. Stine. So the first movie is called Fear Street 1986. The sequel, Fear Street 1978. And the third movie is called Fear Street 1666.
We're going backwards. I think we might have added this to our list, actually. So is that a watch?
Watch.
You watched all three,
Watch
so
it.
that says something.
It's, Netflix, I find that when they put out movies, every time they have teenagers in there, they all are the same pretty much personality, where they're kind of like Valley Girl kind of personality, where they're not real good actors.
Okay.
But fortunately, the story, so the first movie, well, it takes place in 1986, and all the music is 1986 music.
Of course, yeah.
So it's like, very nostalgic to watch the first one.
Absolutely.
And even in the 78 one, they had 70s music. So
yeah, of course.
it's
Yeah.
like, this is
Awesome.
pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then the 1666, they obviously didn't have any music, but but they did have go back to modern times because it tied it all together. Because it's definitely a trilogy. It's trying to figure out this witch. And it's one of those shows that when you watch the first two movies, you're like, all right, it's pretty standard. But then you're like, oh, they changed it.
Okay.
This is better than I thought it was. So
Nice.
it ended. So it's one of the ones where the ending made it better.
Yep, I love that.
Yeah, so definitely recommend watching all three of those. They're basically slasher horror movies.
Okay.
So they're not, a slasher with a little bit of the cult thrown in.
Okay.
So it's the cult part that's most interesting. The slasher stuff I think is kind of funny because I've seen so many slasher movies. Sometimes they're just funny. Some of the deaths are just hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're funny.
Yeah.
So some of them are way over the top and silly.
Well, no, I get it. To each their own. I'm a gun violence guy.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Oh.
That's we'll watch an assassin all the live long day.
Yeah, I do like gun violence. Yeah. So I like the movie, but I wouldn't call it scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I found it more interesting. I was like, it's got some blood, got some gore, got some cool little it's kind of like Cabin in the Woods of throwing slashers at people because it wasn't just one slasher coming after you. It was like 10 of them, 10 different ones with all different personalities coming at you. So it was interesting how it put it together. And definitely going back in time, back to the Salem witch trials and where it all started.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool how they put it together. So it was like, I didn't see that coming. That's what happened. It was like, I didn't see that coming.
I don't know if it came out yet, but
Yeah.
I actually, and I haven't watched the first one in 20 plus years, but I would. Did you ever watch Candyman?
No.
I watched the first one,
Yeah.
and I didn't dislike it. It was actually, to be honest with you, most of those horror movies, too, that bothers me.
Yeah.
There's always like a tragic story, so
Yeah.
it's not, like a lot of them, the bad guy's not the bad guy.
Yeah.
You realize that, like, the bad guy's been wronged in some way, and now he's seeking vengeance. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, yeah, right on.
Yeah, I do root for. I find now they do that a lot in the movies where I root for the bad guy because I'm like, he's killing the entire town, but you kind of deserved it.
Nichols was watching a show. God damn, it's miserable, too. I try not to watch any World War II shows because I know enough.
Yeah.
And it's not going to end well.
Yeah, there's a movie called Dunkirk I want to see.
And she's
Which is World War
watching.
II.
I don't even know what the name of the movie or show was, but she was watching it, and I was in its presence, and it was basically about these two brothers, and one brother is working with Jews. This is right after the war ended, to go around and kill all the Nazis that aren't being tried.
Yep.
And the other brother is a cop, and I'm like, not for nothing, like, I understand you're a cop and you haven't made an oath and all that. Like, the dude's going and killing Nazis. Like, how do you, right after the war ended.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what you're doing's wrong, kinda. Sorta.
Kinda. Yeah.
Carry on.
Carry on. The Inglourious Bastards. Just Keep it doing what you're doing.
Like, I wouldn't be able to stop him. I'd be like, what you're doing's wrong-ish.
Yeah.
Not really give him hell.
You know, God can be a wrathful God.
Yeah, it's like, it gave me a interesting mental exercise as I'm like, I don't think I'd be able to stop them. Even though I do recognize it as wrong.
Yeah.
And just.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy topic, but I'm like, if it were me. Oh, and they also had another scenario I found fascinating. I don't know where the hell they were. I think they were in Poland, but either way, they had these districts, and they had this Russian district, and this woman's husband was locked in a prison in this Russian district, and they're basically using that to bribe her to get her to do nefarious shit. And so they'd let her see her husband for like 5 or 10 minutes now and again as she did these evil things. And, Mickles and I like to pause it and kind of narrate, what would you do in that situation? And I'm like, I can't relate. I'm like, you'd have to put me down because Mickles is locked up somewhere, by the Russians especially. This is how the story goes. It goes one of two ways only. You read about how I went into the building and killed every fucking thing that moved and Mickles and I walked out. Yep. Or you hear about how I died trying. That is how the story goes. Yeah. You would have to put me down. I'd be like a rabid dog. You'd be like, yeah, we liked all Yeller and all, but we had to put a bullet in Sean's head because he could not be reasoned with.
Yeah, he was coming.
And Mickles is like, amen. Yeah. So I just, seriously, I can't relate to that situation because that's what's going to happen.
That's awesome.
Yep. So, anyway.
So, the next couple of movies that I've seen, they're, I would call them Halloween movies, not necessarily horror movies.
Okay.
So, I watched, obviously, Ghostbusters. Oh. You got to watch it every October.
I did not know that. I stand by it. You only watched the first one, though, huh?
I should watch the second one more often, but the first one, I always...
It's a twofer for me.
Yeah, I'll start watching the second one. I do agree. I do like some of the Vigo stuff. And Beetlejuice. Got to watch that every year.
I don't even know if I've ever seen that in totality.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
People do.
I do. I love that movie. I
love the feeling of it, and I'm like,
I like it. I just like the movie.
I like Mr. Mom as well as the next guy.
And this movie I wasn't going to watch, but Zombieland Double Tap, because everything I heard is like the sequel's terrible. Don't watch it. So my expectations were low.
Yeah.
And you know what? I watched it, and it wasn't a good movie, but I laughed my ass off.
Well, good.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah, was it a good movie? No. Was it funny? Yes, it was a funny movie. I did enjoy it.
It definitely was just milking that cow for all it was worth.
Yeah.
First one
but
was
the
special.
end where they jumped off the roof as lemmings, I thought this was hilarious. I'm like, they're idiots.
Honestly, I don't even remember at this point, but I know we watched it, and I was like, I gave it a solid. It wasn't complete horrible crap, but
and they had another Bill Murray cameo in it where they show what looked like when the zombie outbreak first happened. He was being interviewed. I thought that was hilarious. They showed Bill Murray at the end of the movie during the credits was beating the shit out of everybody and all the zombies himself.
Yeah,
it was. I'm like, come on,
awesome.
That was worth the price of admission just to see Bill Murray kicking this ass of a whole bunch of zombies.
That first one though, because I've got the zombie penchant. I like to watch zombie movies, kill zombies in games. I'm just it never gets old.
Yeah.
I watched that first one with zero expectations, and then I watched it the next night, I believe, because I'm like, Mickles, believe it or not, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
Like, it was that good. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Zombieland, it's freaking great.
Yeah, they didn't milk it because it's funny because the second Zombieland movie, they met the other people that are basically, they're identical.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got the Zuckerberg guys, I call them.
Yeah.
Because that's the other. And then they had another guy that's kind of like a Zuckerberg kind of character, but he had different rules. He had commandments that you follow.
Yep.
It was just hilarious when they compared it. He goes, well, I think cardio should be higher than that. I thought it was cool conversations they're having.
Yep.
So I thought there were some moments. And plus it had what's-her-face in it. Who's that lady?
Miss Sunshine?
No, it had, what's her name?
What is it? Emily Stone? Is that it?
No, the new actress that was in it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, the one they met in the middle of the movie. God, I can't believe I don't remember the movie. Zombieland Double Tap.
You know when I fell in love with Zombieland? I can tell you the exact scene. It was when he dropped his keys. And he just ran in a circle.
He just ran in a circle.
And I'm like, all this time. Like, it's that simple.
It's that simple. You just got to run her. Rosario Dawson.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And yeah, I got a thing for her. She was also in the the Mandalorian as a Jedi. I just think she's awesome. But she was in Clerks 2. That's when I fell in love with her. Clerks 2. I thought she was hilarious in that. But yeah, I just like everything she does.
Nice.
So yeah, she was in there. She was living at Elvis place in the Zombieland 2, the double tap.
Again, I've deleted it. I made room for more
made room for
important
more in your brain
nonsense.
too. It was deleted both physically and mentally.
Yeah,
You're
it was like, could I save this file? Nah.
Yeah, it goes in the Babylon 5 bin, as you call it.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's what
They're making more Babylon 5. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it stays 5.
Yeah, stays 5.
Yeah. It should be up to Babylon 13 by now.
Yeah, it should be. Well, actually, technically, there's a Babylon 3, 4, and 5 that they talk about in the show.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, but theoretically, there was a 1 and 2 at some point. Call it a hunch.
Yeah, the first one sank into the swamp, and the second one stood up, then sank into the swamp, then burned, and the third one burned down, fell down, and then sank in the swamp. Yep, that's a Monty Python.
They got there, though.
Yeah, they got there. And the fourth one stayed up.
Yep, that's how you do it, though.
Yeah, Shirley doesn't get that joke. She didn't believe in Monty Python. She also says Airplane's a terrible movie.
I got nothing on that one.
Yeah.
She ever seen a grown man naked?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I go, what do you not, you actually find this sacrilege? I'm like, what do you not like about Airplane? And she goes, well, she says, well, I've never seen it, but I know this gets crazier.
That's fantastic.
But I know Leslie Nielsen is in it, and I hate him.
How could you hate Leslie
I don't
Nielsen?
know. And I go, he only has like 3 lines in the movie. He's not really the star of it. It's Stryker and what's her face, Groundhog Day girl.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
How does one
I looked it up.
hate Leslie Nielsen?
It is considered the 6th funniest movie of all time. It's in the Library of Congress for storage for future generations to see.
I'm not kidding. Mickles have been flipping through cable before and found Leslie Nielsen and stuff that's not a comedy because he was, in fact, an actor.
Yeah.
And I just start rolling.
Yeah.
Like the man hasn't even done anything, and I'm dying. And I'm just like, God damn, he kills me.
He's just naturally funny without even trying.
Oh, God damn. I got to go back and watch those. Yeah. It's funny to me because it's humor that's so dumb.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be an intellectual to get all of it.
Well, Airplane was a little bit more of the fast-paced jokes than the Naked Gun series.
Yep.
Naked Gun series is a little more slapstick, but I like them both. I do like the Naked Gun where he rubs Gaddafi's birthmark off his head. I knew it.
I think.
Not Gaddafi's.
Holy crap! Enrico Palazzi's the umpire. Yeah. I think of that.
It's awesome.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. It just. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I do celebrate the movie. But Airplane, I think, is a great movie. So I suggested to somebody at work that they should watch. I think it was Haley. I said you should watch Airplane followed by Groundhog Day, just back to back. I think those are good bookmarks there.
Groundhog Day is great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sailing. Keep sailing, Bob.
I still call that dude Ned Ryerson in everything. I've seen him in a million things, and I call him Ned Ryerson.
Yeah. Not Groundhog Day. What about Bob?
Oh, what about Bob's a good one too?
Yeah. They're all good movies.
I say Groundhog Day is
Groundhog Day is genius.
I celebrate Bill Murray. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, anything Bill Murray does. So Groundhog Day. Yeah.
I've honestly never seen Garfield, so I can't comment.
I have seen Garfield, and I like it.
But I do like. I haven't seen the movie, but I hate it. I like that open mind.
I got nothing.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna make her watch it one day in her sleep.
Then again, she could make the same argument with like Downton Abbey and you. You've never seen the movie yet? You hate it.
I've seen 5 minutes of it. That's enough.
Yeah, I've seen Mickles has watched the show.
Yeah, I've seen. I know it's bad based on what I've seen.
Just spoiler alert. They clean the house.
Yeah, they clean the house.
That's what happens, folks. Yeah. It's like 6 seasons. They clean the house.
Yeah, so I think that's all I did. So basically, I've been watching the American Horror Story anthologies every night. As much as I can, so I've seen like 6 or 7 of those episodes.
Was that your whole movie list?
Yeah, that was my whole movie
list.
list.
I thought it'd be longer.
It really been a busy month.
I guess so. Actually, either way, you watch shit ton movies more than I do.
Well, yeah, because I think a lot. I would watch a movie I'd watch it like Fridays and Saturdays. I'd be watching movies.
Yeah.
So it's really not that many movies you're gonna watch in a month then. And then the rest of the week was American Horror Story, What We Do in the Shadows, Ted Lasso. That filled up my week. You know what I'm saying? So it's really TV shows during the week, movies for the weekends.
I like the regimen.
Yeah, that's how I kind of roll.
I realize we haven't even talked about what have we been playing, but that'll take all of 2 seconds.
This will take
We've been playing Diablo 2.
Yes.
When we can.
Yes. When you can get in the server.
I really can't wait for them to actually release the playable version of the game.
Yes, I would love that. I mean, I think that was an option in the beginning, but they decided to pull the rug out from us.
Blizzard is the worst company that makes the best games.
Yeah, I know. I hate them.
There's something wrong with them. I just don't get it. But anywho.
Yeah, so I have a love-hate relationship with Diablo 2, but I'm thinking about going to, playing some more
Path of Exile.
Path of Exile,
Yep. Good game. And those of you that are looking to play a game and you can't choose between the two, go Path of Exile. It's free.
Yeah.
And it's arguably better. I mean, not for nothing, Diablo 2 is 20 years old. And yes, it's got a new coat of paint. And guess what? It's 20 years old.
I like a game where you don't have to rely on the dibs to pick up items.
That's fantastic. Yeah, Kevin picks up everything.
Not on purpose,
Everything.
too. Sometimes on purpose, but...
I think it's because you move differently than I do. I don't click at all.
Yeah.
I do as little as possible.
Yeah. I pick up stuff that I don't mean to constantly because I'm always clicking wherever I go.
Well, lately it's moot for me anyway. I have no space. I can't pick up anything.
Now, that's what happens. Yeah, it's kind of mean because you got to pick up all those charms in the game, and then next thing you know, you have no inventory space.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, I guess I have charms. So
I wouldn't recommend that though to people necessarily. Like for me, it's nostalgic value. And I knew you'd dig it just because you've been playing Diablo like crazy anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd recommend it to somebody who hasn't played it.
No, because there's a portion of it did not age well. Yeah. It's really the nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done a much better job with other games since
then. I would recommend Path of Exile though. Although I gotta say, man, that game. When I say it's complicated, I literally don't even understand how complicated it is because there's just stuff that's way beyond me.
I know I've only touched the surface on a lot of stuff you can do in the game because I haven't even gone to mines yet. Really,
no,
just
me neither.
5 minutes I think I've spent in it.
There's items you can get in that mines that I've seen. I'm like, I literally have no idea what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to it. But it's a fun game.
Yeah, I finally figured out the arena with the animals. I did a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, I did one or two things there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I finally figured out how to actually run. I was like, I couldn't even figure out how to start the arena for the longest time.
I love that dude. He makes me laugh every time. You get on a map and this guy's there, and it means you got to go hunt animals, and he just says the dumbest shit.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I can't remember what his name is, but at the end, he'll be like, oh, I'm going to go do me business.
Yeah, I know. Eisenhower or whatever it is. Something like that.
But he refers to himself in the third person.
Yeah, I know.
It cracks me up.
It's like, okay, thanks.
I'm going to go do Eisenhower business.
Yeah, I think it's Eisenhower. It might be that.
It might be. Yeah, it might be right.
But, but the thing is, I like to see him, use him in the map, and then purposely not go after any of his animals.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, helps you.
Everything. Yeah.
It's like, come with me.
Yeah, let's go kill these baddies.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
You can bring him to the boss levels, too, which is awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He'll just follow you around forever?
Yeah.
I thought he'd just disappear when you left the map.
No, he follows you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I've gone to the boss in the tower one, and he came with me. He fought the boss with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's got to help a lot.
I know. It's like, you fight the boss. I'll be in the corner crying.
I'm going to go hide.
Yeah, I know. I need your power level.
You guys work this out.
Yeah, you guys work amongst yourselves, yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, so if I was going to mention anything in my favorite horror movies, I would say that, Hellraiser is up there, Exorcist is up there. What else other horror movies I just love watching?
Nothing scares me.
Yeah, nothing scares you. I kind of like, I like Sixth Sense.
I wouldn't call that a horror movie.
I've said, The Others. Of course, that's not, I don't know if that's really horror.
Was that the Nicole Kidman one?
Yeah, Nicole Kidman.
That's a good story, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a horror movie either. Although, again, I suppose it is.
Yeah, a lot of people, there's different horrors. There's slasher horrors and more of the ghost horrors. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a ghost story.
Jump scare, again, it's, you might even get me to react on occasion on jump scares, but who cares? Like, that's just instinct.
Yeah.
That's smarts, if you ask me. That's not scary to me. Like, Exorcist is scary because you're like, I don't want to get possessed by Satan tonight. Yeah. You might check the back seat to make sure Satan's not there. That's scary to me. Like making me jump for a second. That's not really scary. So that's why a lot of movies don't fit that category.
Yeah.
And Hellraiser was like, it was creepy.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was well done.
The Cenobites.
But I watch these ghost videos all the time, guys, and I'm telling you, I just don't get it. Why can you only get ghosts and UFOs with crappy cameras? Why is that?
Yeah.
Light refracts in weird ways, and it's just that's most of it, I swear, right there. But, I mean, I've seen plenty of videos where, like, the chair moves for no reason. And I agree. Like, okay, I don't think there was a string involved. Like, I think that moved for no reason I can explain. But, again, and I know I've mentioned this, but it'll never cease to be funny to me. The fact that the chair suddenly moves and we're like, Grandma? Like, how did we get there? Yeah. How did this escalate so goddamn quickly?
That reminds me. The scariest movie I've ever seen in the movie theater has been Poltergeist.
Okay.
Because I saw it when I was, 7 years old?
Nice.
And my parents took me
where
there.
Where are your parents?
They were there.
Oh, that's good.
And I remember, because it's one of the things, there's a lot of points in your life when you're young you don't remember, but I remember that day. because it must have really screwed with me. Because I remember crawling underneath the movie theater seat.
Wow.
And I remember
That is scary.
Yeah, so I crawled underneath, and my parents had to drag me out of the theater.
That's fantastic.
So I never saw. So as a child, I never saw the second half of the movie.
And you had like a gummy bears and juju fruit stuck to you for like 3 years after.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I was underneath the seat.
You had
I was
12
like,
diseases we never even named.
Yeah, I know. And so I've seen the movie many times since, and I think the movie is actually genius. I think it's well done. I think Steven Spielberg, even though he wasn't technically the director of the movie, he was actually on set. There's a strike at the time.
I don't think the dead give a shit.
Yeah.
You do whatever if you play freaking football with their bones.
I just love the scene where the coach, as I call him, yells at the other guy, said, "You moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies." And I just love that. I was like, that, and all the bodies are coming up. And the second Poltergeist, where you meet the preacher guy, and he was just walking down singing his songs. He goes, "Let me in," and all that stuff. He was creepy as all hell.
It's been 1,000 years, but I do vaguely remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. I'm not trying to be. This isn't like a machismo thing. I'm not like trying to be tough in any way. Like people scare the shit right out of me. Like living ones, the dead ones not so much. They think their own things. And a part of it is too. Like, are you fucking telling me that when I go, all I get to do is open and close drawers? Because I will. Because I mean, seriously, what the fuck else am I doing? But like that's it.
It sounds. If you watch all the stuff like the American Horror Story stuff, they're pretty bored. All the
but
ghosts.
again, like I've never seen out of all the ghost videos I've seen, I've never seen the one where like I came home and my laundry was folded.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think Grandma would at least like throw you a bone?
Actually, that happened at my house.
Oh, I'm talking to a ghost right now. If Charlize listens to this.
All the time.
Oh, that is great.
I do nothing.
Oh, that is awesome. See? Now I'm talking to a dead man. It's great.
So, the other horror, another classic I like is The Shining.
Okay, yeah, horror, that counts. Yep.
Yeah, that counts. The Shining. That was a good movie.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but I mean, again, not many things.
No, but I like the classics, like like The Exorcist, The Shining, Poltergeist. Those are I consider classics because they're more than like 30 years old.
Yeah, I find it weird. I find our whole society weird in the way we glorify violence, but we censor, language.
Yeah.
And nudity, because God forbid you're comfortable with your body.
No.
Can't have that, but you want to watch like 300 people get shot. No worries. I've had.
I know.
But
you can't see one nipple.
You can't see a nipple or say fuck. God, no.
No.
God did not like that.
No.
It's great.
Yeah. What's so special about the nipple? Anyways.
I find that one weird because dudes can do it.
Yeah.
I can show my nipples.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
But whatever. We digress. This show's never going to end. I'm going to say, fans, we've sorry we have not been recording as much. We're going to try to do better. And as always, I said try. It's not going to work, but we'll give it a go.
No, sorry. I'm kidding. We'll try.
But, we'd love to hear from you as always. Yes. So, same thing as always. I don't want to steal your thunder. So how did they get a hold of us, buddy?
I don't know. How did they get hold of us?
It's been a while.
Oh. Email us at toot@tootcast.net.
That's TOOT. Toot. One other thing.
One other thing, yes. Yes. What is the one other thing? Actually, we're out of time.
Oh, that is well done. I'm going to give it to you. I would like to give a shout out to Audrey as always. Yes. Thank you for your continued support. And Tamon, thank you for your support.
We got a second Patreon.
Definitely got our second Patreon. We are rolling in it now.
Rolling, yes. I love it.
We're just shy of quitting our jobs.
Yes, we're almost there.
Almost there.
Almost there. Just to add to that advertising that part of it is that I'm actually going to be in between jobs in a minute.
Yeah.
So I actually recorded some Mass Effect episodes that I have yet to upload because I'm lazy. So I figure next 2 weeks I might as well do some more game recording, get more experience recording games.
That's right.
I need to do that more often so I get used to recording games once we start wanting to share games with people.
Actually, on that note, I'm starting to harass my tech guy about how we could actually interact with the audience in some way. So I've just started my harassments, but, we'll keep you posted.
I'll get there. I just got to practice a little bit.
My tech guy's good.
Yeah. He's good, but he's lazy.
Not as lazy as me, buddy.
That's true. So I'll get there. Yeah. That sounds like fun. So I plan to record some more Mass Effect episodes because I haven't really gone back to the game, and I love the game, and I like I said, I have like 4 episodes recorded, only 2 uploaded. So I'll have to go upload more.
Yeah. Well, look at that. I love it. Plugging your show on the show.
On the
I
show.
love it.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
It's show on show action.
That's right. So, anywho, well, I think we're there, my friend.
All
I
right.
think we're landing our plane. So with that,
Oh, wait a minute.
oh boy, it's
I'm not good.
man, we're rusty.
All right.
Just COVID. What can I say?
Oh, here we go.
So
This will
with
do
that said, this is Sean,
This is Kevin.
and that's the one other thing.
Good night.
Well done, my friend. We made it.
What the hell?